Hello, it's Jean from the Inky Studio. Welcome back. I have here a journal that I'm going to be working on, and can you guess what the theme is? Yes, it's going to be about birds. And some of the pages, I am going to double them up. I'm going to put, and this is 27-pound paper, Espen presentation paper that I used, and I'm going to double them up and sew them together, glue and sew them together, and so that I have, when I start decorating them, I can put on a little bit heavier pieces like fabric and uh, buttons and things like that, and have a little bit more of a stable background than just one sheet of paper. So some of the pages are going to be like that. But what I want to do today, what I want to show you today, is how I'm going to be making a hidden secret pocket for a tag. And we will get started with that. So what I did here was I cut out a piece of piece from a digital, and this came from this page here. And I cut it out, and I printed it on a lightweight cardstock, so it has some heft to it. But if I didn't have the cardstock, then I would back it up with other cardstock, cut out the paper and back it up. But I didn't do that. I just did it with the lightweight cardstock. Boy, it was a lot to say for such a little thing, right? So I'm going to be making, this is going to be something that's going to be sticking out. And I chose this page because there's already some nests on here, and it kind of looks like it's a natural digital to kind of go on this page a little bit. So this is the one I'm going to put it on. Now, the secret to the hidden pocket is to cover the slit. So I'll be making the slit in here and slipping a tag behind the slit. But to make it secret, covering that slit up is kind of the secret part of it. And it's going to need to be just a little bit more narrow than my piece I've cut out here. So any piece you cut out, it has to be a little bit wider than what you think you want your tag to be, so that it can kind of hang over that slit and hide it. But what I'm explaining will be much more obvious if I start doing it. And so first of all, I'm going to take my ruler, and I'm going to measure and allow probably 1/2 inch on each side. So I don't want my slit to be too much more than 2 3/4 inches long. That would be about where I want my slit to be. I'm going to, now I chose a rather large piece, which makes it more challenging because you need to make sure your slit is right in a perfect spot, because only half the page is available to you, because you're going to be sew the signature in right about here. So this is kind of a challenge to pick something quite this large. So the smaller, probably the less challenging it would be. But I'm going to try to center this down here, just so that I'm not hanging out too much over there. And I'm going to mark, I'm just going to fold it up a little bit like this. I'm going to mark kind of like I want it within these two places here. This is like the whitest part of my, I folded it back on the whitest part of my image, and then I just marked some boundaries for myself that, I don't want the slit to go any further than beyond these two. And so I think I said 2 3/4. All right, so I'm just going to, yeah, did it just right in between those two things. I'm going to line this up so that this is a straight slit. So let me put it here on my mat, and the marks are here. And so it looks like if I just line it up right here on that level, that should be about right. So we'll just put in a line right there. And that's where I'm going to make my slit. So take my craft knife, and this will be the pocket opening for the tag. And we'll just come across like so. I think my ruler moved, didn't it? Oh well. didn't move too badly. I put this side down because it's so shiny. This is the rubber that it wouldn't have moved if I put that down. And this is going to be my tag opening. So my, of course, now I'm going to have to cut my tag within the confines of that particular line. So let me cut that down. Now, like I said before, the goal is to cover up this slit. And so it looks like you don't have one, right? And this way, when you put the tag inside, it's going to look like this is just part of the page, or maybe it's glued on the page, or there's no idea that this is actually a tag that can be pulled out. So I'm going to now see where, let me make sure my tag is, I'm going to glue my image onto the tag, but I'm only going to glue it right up here at the top, just the top portion there. Now, as you can see, the image is wider than the tag, and I'm going to lay it down here so I can get it straight. And I'm going to kind of see how I want that to be on the page. Something about like that. Okay. So now when you go to put this into your pocket, it's not going to go any further than the last glue line you put underneath here. So we can go in like so. Now I see that, you know, I have a little bit left. I have some sticking out down here, which is fine. And that's why I tend to put, I added that much at the top. So I added probably a good 1.5 inches, maybe almost 2 inches to the top, just so that I would have plenty of room to put on my image, because you can always cut off the bottom. It's never a problem there. And that's it. That is basically all you need to do to make your tag. And of course, at this point, you can decorate the tag up more if you would like, you know, put more paper on here, maybe make it more decorative, but you'll have an opportunity to do something on the back, and you can maybe make this all writable as well. Just decorate it with something that can be written over, and you have a cute little tag that nobody knows. Now, if you're using paper, of course, I could have printed this on cardstock, and it would have been more heftier. But if you're using just basic paper, it's probably a really good idea to shore up that slit so that it doesn't get overworn. And to do that, we're going to take a piece of cardstock that's a little longer than your slit, and it's about 3/4 of an inch wide. We're going to put a slit in the middle of that strip. I'm not going to worry too much about the position of it, but you don't want to, you want to stop before you come off to the edges, and you want this to be as long as your slit there. And let's see, and it looks really good. I'm also going to go back in and take out a little section. So I've got my one strip down there. I'm going to go and take a thin second line strip, just like this. And we're going to take that out, like so. And this will shore up that slit right here. And actually what I'm going to do too is I'm going to go in here and take out the same amount as I just did. Just going to take out a little sliver. Now again, if I was using cardstock for my page, this probably would not be as necessary. So I'm just going to cut that little slit right there like that. I'm going to take this and I'm going to glue it on. position it over that slit. You can see that's positioned over it. And this doesn't have to be straight. That's just not that necessary. And then now we have a slit that will definitely be easy to take in and out and will last for a while. So there you go. Isn't that the cutest thing? And so now you have a secret invisible tag in a pocket. Now the other thing about combining two pages like this is that you can put in an envelope before you sew it up. Now you will not want to glue this together. You know, you don't want to put any glue in these areas here. You can, if you don't want to sew, you can glue like around the perimeter, just a little bit around the perimeter, and then you could glue like this page here unless you're going to do something else inside. But yeah, you don't want to glue this page onto that. So I am going to glue in this envelope here. I think it goes really well. Just happens to go quite nice with the colors. And so what I'll be doing then is I'll open it up, and I'll sew down right here and then sew all the way around it. Now you could, to kind of help secure it, and I think that's what I'm going to do so I don't shift too much, I am going to put like a little bit of glue here in the middle. And that way it'll stay on point, I think, a little better. Like that. And yeah. So that's what I'll do. I'll be right back. Alrighty, it's all put together. I have my flap envelope and I have this hidden tag. So that's a way, in here I just put a little bit of decorative paper on it that you still can write on. So that's a way to make a hidden secret pocket. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope it gave you some inspiration. Please like this video and subscribe, and we'll get together again and as I work slowly on this bird journal. Talk to you later. Bye.